Good Thursday morning. I'm meteorologist Joseph Cooper with your regional weather forecast for today. Out there this morning, most of us pretty dry. You can see some rainfall back out between Cleveland and Mansfield, Ohio. Outside of that, not too much going on this morning. We won't see too much this morning, but we certainly will start to see the risk of some severe weather across portions of the region both today and for tomorrow, which will kind of be the focus of the forecast here. So going into the next couple of hours, this is going into 7, 8, 9 o'clock. Main focal point for some rainfall will be out towards the Cleveland area. Could see an isolated shower into the next few hours back out towards the Detroit metro as well. As we continue on into 9, 10, 11 o'clock on into noon, dry weather continuing across much of the forecast area here. Any kind of showers back up into northeastern Ohio and far southeastern Michigan will come to an end here late morning into midday. As we go into 1, 2, 3, going into 4 p.m., you can still see dry weather in place here on into 5 and 6 o'clock, but notice starting to see thunderstorm development here back out towards DeKalb, northeastern portions of Illinois, and stretching back into southern portions of Wisconsin as we head on into that 5 to 6 p.m. Eastern time, so around 4 to 5 p.m. Central time. And then as you get on into 6, 7, 8 o'clock, you can see those thunderstorms developing in the southeastern portions of Wisconsin and northeastern portions of Illinois. We also have rainfall moving into southern portions of Illinois and Indiana this evening towards that 7 to 8 p.m. time frame. As these thunderstorms get going up across northern Illinois and southern Wisconsin, the atmosphere will be conducive for severe weather that will include damaging winds, hail, and even tornadoes. A couple of those tornadoes could be strong. So certainly across northern Illinois, southern Wisconsin, and out into northern Indiana, the threat for severe weather will exist here this evening as we continue on into 9, 10, 11 o'clock here. You can see this line of thunderstorms even down towards Danville, Illinois at this point in time. And as you continue on into 11 o'clock going into midnight, you can see those thunderstorms moving off to the east and northeast across northern portions of Indiana and out across western portions of western portions of Michigan there. I think, probably by 9 to 10 o'clock, your severe weather threat out towards Chicago will be over with tonight. And then as you continue into midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., you can see these thunderstorms continuing to march on off to the east. So overnight tonight, at least late this evening into the early overnight, a severe weather threat out into Detroit that will probably be mainly damaging winds, hail, and maybe an isolated tornado. And then you'll start to see that threat moving across Ohio as we head into 1, 2, 3 a.m. And then as you get into 4, 5, 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, that's on out of here. And then any thunderstorms are back down across portions of Kentucky and Tennessee into the morning hours tomorrow. So we will be watching that round of severe weather here as we go into this evening and into the overnight move across, especially northern portions of the Ohio Valley into the southern Great Lakes. But even down into central and southern portions of Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, if you see storms developing down into those locations this evening into tonight, they'll still be capable of becoming severe. Much of the region here is pretty much primed for severe weather today. The cap or kind of a warm layer of air down across central and southern portions of the Ohio Valley will probably keep thunderstorm coverage down there somewhat limited as we work later this afternoon, more so into the evening and overnight as opposed to northern portions of the region. Into the morning hours tomorrow, this is 8, 9, 10 o'clock, dry weather in place here tomorrow morning into midday. As we work into 2, 3, 4 o'clock, we have more thunderstorms developing down across mainly southern Illinois, southwestern Indiana, and western portions of Kentucky, and another round of severe weather, potentially another round of impactful severe weather tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow evening is expected. And into 4, 5, 6 o'clock, you can see a pretty impressive Boeing segment developing down in southern Indiana. We've got additional cells developing back out across central and southern Illinois, and then more thunderstorms developing back up towards Chicago. Now, I do think Chicago tomorrow will have a lesser chance of severe weather, especially compared to today. But the central and southern portions of the Ohio Valley into the Tennessee Valley tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow evening will be under the gun. And you can see these cells moving across on into 7, 8, 9 o'clock across Indiana, back down into Ohio, Kentucky. We've got thunderstorms and rainfall moving out of Illinois tomorrow evening, but into into Michigan. And as you continue on into 10, 11 o'clock, going in towards midnight, 1 a.m., a lot of this activity starting to wane as we work into early Saturday morning and exit on out of the forecast area. And then as we get into the morning hours on Saturday, few showers into Ohio and eastern Michigan initially, initially, and then drier weather setting up as we work Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening into Saturday night, heading on into Sunday, and then maybe a few showers across the area on Sunday afternoon. But outside of that, pretty dry. We take a look at the rainfall forecast. Let me bring this on through, but this is on through Saturday afternoon. You can see some heavy rainfall down across the southern Ohio Valley where an inch or two of rain is possible. And then we'll see better chances of probably a half inch to an inch of rain out into portions of central and northern Ohio, back out into portions of northern Indiana. The rest of us probably seeing, a quarter to 3/4 of an inch of rain, and then less than that across much of western and northwestern Illinois. The exception of that may be out here into northeastern portions of Illinois from Chicago back up towards Milwaukee and those locations where you'll see some of that thunderstorm activity this afternoon. Certainly some areas of, 2 to 4 inches of rainfall are possible locally, especially into the central and southern portions of the Ohio Valley where they could have a couple of rounds of thunderstorms into the next couple of days. Severe weather-wise, enhanced risk out across northern portions of Indiana, northeastern portions of Illinois, and a lot of Wisconsin for today. Damaging winds, hail, and tornadoes will be possible. A few of those tornadoes could be strong, and then you can see the slight risk extending all the way down across pretty much the entirety of the rest of the region. And then into tomorrow, that enhanced risk shifts from the I-70 corridor across Illinois, Indiana, back out into western portions of Ohio and points to the south. Again, damaging winds, hail, and tornadoes will become a threat for tomorrow as well. Highs today going to be very, very warm out there. Southern portions of Wisconsin and northern and central portions of Illinois will be in the low to maybe even some mid-90s, with the rest of us into the 80s here as we go on into today. Overnight tonight into tomorrow morning, we'll drop into the upper 50s to low 60s out across portions of Illinois. The rest of us into the 60s here for tonight into tomorrow. And then for tomorrow, still pretty mild across the region. Many of us middle to upper 80s. There will be some lower 80s into portions of Wisconsin, into Michigan, and northern portions of Ohio. Into Saturday, some cooler air coming on in as we drop into the 70s across much of the Ohio Valley, some 60s into the Great Lakes and northern Ohio Valley, and we continue with those cooler temperatures on Sunday on into Monday. So overall, it'll be more summer-like into the next couple of days before we return a bit closer to average through the weekend into early on next week. That's all I have for you here this morning. Thanks for logging on. Have a great day.